Hey guys, it's Barb
and Jen
from Eternal Beauty Institute. Now, in this video, what we want to capture for you guys is how to launch your business with free, no cost, basically solutions that are going to help you launch the brand that you're building. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is, and again, the last video, Jen was talking about routine. Now, when you're posting to actually get clients to come to you, online classifieds are one of the most powerful ways that we can actually get clients to be interested in our business. And so those are going to be like the Kijijis, any of your local classifieds for neighborhoods. There's lots of neighborhood classifieds. There might be free classifieds with your local papers, your church associations. There's a multitude of different ways that you can post. So anytime that you have that option to go online and post about what you're offering for free, I'm going to use Kijiji for our main example, because you can log into Kijiji, or Facebook Marketplace is another great one, and you can post an ad each and every day. The best times to post are going to be about 7:30 or 8 in the morning when you're having that cup of coffee. If you get up and you're a little bit more of an early bird, put those things up a little bit, as soon as you get out of bed while you're having your morning coffee. Then the next time to post, that's kind of the best, most ideal time, would be around 11:30 to 11:45, when people, right before they're going to hit their lunch break and have time to look at those online classifieds. There's never really a bad time to post, but those would be the two most ideal times to post. If you're going to do a third time of posting, again, around that dinner hour when people sort of start to hit the couch, and then they're going to be scrolling for things that they might be interested in. Now, what do you want to post? Well, what you know. So if you've taken microneedling, if you've taken facials and chemical peels, obviously you're in your facials and chemical peel portal, so that's what you're going to be posting as per this portal. And you're going to put your pricing. You're going to put lots and lots of pictures. People that go on Kijiji, and this is my thinking, is when you have every single picture in the Kijiji ad and a really nice verbiage in terms of what you're selling, it builds consumer confidence. So what we suggest that you do is take time, write out a nice script, put that in a Word document, then when you go to post, it's just a simple copy and paste into your ad. Also, if you do have ability to do so, make a video. You are able to, with a lot of these online classifieds, add a video link as well. That will also help your prospective clients understand who you are and get in touch with the actual person behind the business. So that's some of our tips and tricks there. Keep in mind, online classifieds are normally free. However, here's the linchpin with that. You often, to be able to repost a new one and go up to the top of the scroll, you need to delete it. So every day you're going to have to go in, put up your ad, delete. Go in, put up your ad, delete.
To add to the Kijiji as well, you're only allowed 2 posts in one area, and sometimes Kijiji is on top of their game where they'll remove it for you, and this always changes. So if you notice something getting removed, look at the verbiage, and there might be a word in there that they didn't like, and that could be it. In the beauty industry, that happens often. Your Facebook Marketplace is one of them. Some people have great success posting. Others get very frustrated because they keep removing them. And again, that's really up to Facebook to tell you. They're not the greatest with doing that, but usually they'll tell you it was a photo that was insensitive or however have you. But just don't give up, keep trying, and once you find the right verbiage and photos that you know that the social media platform you're using agrees with, then you should be fine. Another thing that I used to do that I really liked and I had really success with was Facebook groups. But read those rules. You don't go spamming in there when it's not for businesses. But if you find the right groups, the same thing like Barb just said, when you're going in to bump up your ad, make sure you clean up what you left behind before. So you don't want 1,000 of your ads because you're not cleaning them up. That'll get you kicked out of a group. So it's really important you do clean it up, change it up a little bit too, and use some different pictures.
Yeah, and some of the groups that we can suggest are things like Swap and Buys, the mommy groups, any of the beauty groups. Those are people that are already interested in what you might be having to offer. So those are great groups to really seek out. You wouldn't necessarily want to post in a travel group unless you were posting a pre-travel makeover or something.
Yeah.
You need to make it relevant to the group so that they are appreciating your post.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so and then now the other thing to note with this too is that all of the types of ads that we're talking about, whether it's group post, whether it's Facebook, whether it's classifieds or Kijiji, what we're talking about right here is free posting. That means there's no charge to you. These platforms also have the ability to do a paid ad. Those paid ads are excellent in terms of traction, but you need to make sure that you're looking at your budget and that you have expectations. The other thing I want to note, it's great to post. What is your follow-up? If you're putting the energy in and the effort to make that post, what you need to be really diligent to is making sure that when somebody messages you because of that ad, that you have an immediate follow-up plan. Now Jen, I'm going to let you go into a little bit more of what that follow-up plan can look like.
Oh, absolutely. So for facials, it is, in my opinion, the best thing to do with your goal is to get a consultation. I found that if you are not responding to the person within, I would say, 4 or 5 hours, they've already lost interest. They're on to the next one. Maybe they even found another technician. So it's really important that if you do make a post, that you do have the notifications, first of all, on your phone so that you can answer no matter where you are. And you actually want to be very diligent and make sure you do not forget about the other file. So on your Facebook messages, and I don't know why they did this, but they have your messages, but they also have other and people that are attempting to contact you. I'm not sure on the wording on that, but if you miss that, you're missing out on potential clientele right there. And it's very easy to miss. And please keep in mind that you don't always get a notification that somebody is attempting to contact you. So please do keep that in mind. But definitely you want to respond back as soon as you can. You want to ask imperative questions. So if you are into the facials, because this is the portal we're in, you're going to say, okay, what kind of facial were you interested in? And you have to keep in mind too, there's people that they want a certain type of facial, but maybe they need more of an acneic facial than they do an anti-aging one. So as a professional, it's really important to relay that information to them as well. But you want to set up for the consultation first so you know exactly what you're looking at. And to do so is obviously responding. Really trying to arrange your client as best as you can around their schedule, if at all possible. For the first little bit when I was building my business, I did go over and beyond. You know, I made sure it's like 6 o'clock. Well, yeah, I'll make it happen. So you want to make sure when you are building that business that you're being super accommodating. And once you start going, then you can set more strategic hours for your business.
Absolutely. And just another thing that I picked up on what Jen was saying. If you only have a few services, then do targeted ads. Do an ad specific to just treating acne. Let's say you're doing facials. Do an ad specifically for anti-aging. Do an ad specifically for rosacea. Do an ad specifically for hyperpigmentation. Or skin brightening or whitening. You may have 5 ads going specifically targeting the type of skincare services you offer, but that's often what people are looking for. They're looking for an acne facial, not just facials, you know, that broad term. So make sure the more specific you are, the more targeted you're going to be able to find those people that are looking for the actual service that you're offering. The other thing that's really important to note when we're thinking about how to market ourselves is that what are we going to do for our bookings? Because one of the major problems that you run into is that people will book a time with you and then they don't show up, okay? And it is frustrating for anybody that's in the beauty industry or anybody that's in the service industry, period. So what we suggest that students do is take a booking deposit. That is always refundable if the client shows up, has a consultation with you, and decides not to take that treatment. At least they've taken the time to come to your place of work, and they've taken the time to listen to what you have to offer. So we always require a deposit. Now, how do you take those deposits? This is another thing. Email money transfer is really easy, but some people are a little bit wary of that. So setting up some sort of an app, whether it's a Vigero, there's Setmore, there's several.
There's Square. Yeah.
There's multiple apps that you can utilize so that you can actually integrate it to your bank account and you can take that booking deposit online. This is what we highly suggest. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. So if you're in the middle of a consultation and somebody says, oh, you know what, I'd like to book an acne facial with you, then you say, okay, great. I'm just going to quickly text you the link to my booking app. You're going to have to put in your details there and just give me a small $30 deposit. That's going to hold your consultation. It's 100% refundable, so when you show up and we go through this skincare analysis for you, and if you decide not to book, certainly we'll give that deposit back to you. But what it's going to do is essentially ensure that your clients are going to show up and value your time. So make sure that as you're growing your business and dipping your foot into the aesthetics market, that you are putting all of these factors in place.
Absolutely. There was something you mentioned that I think I want to add. This is just purely experience. When you first start out, you're really excited about all the different variety of services you offer. The majority of people do take the skincare specialist, so there's 5 right there, if not more. Don't put all of that in your ad. I remember the first couple times I'm like, well, I can't just put facials, I offer tons of other things. So I wanted to put everything in there. When you confuse it, it looks messy and it's all over the place and not very strategic. So even though, yes, you do offer microneedling or whatever else, focus on one thing, because what's going to happen is they're like, well, they offer this, I wonder if they offer this. You're going to have those people contacting you anyway, asking like, oh, I seen your ad for a facial, I was wondering, do you do dermaplaning? You know, and it'll go on from there. So don't be scared to narrow it down. And then if that doesn't work, at the end of that ad, you know, make sure you do your stats and say, okay, this is the response I got, these were the bookings, and then do another one, change it up completely. And then when you really find what works for you, that's what you stick with.
And the last thing before we kind of conclude this video, I want to talk to you guys about consumer confidence. So things that you can do right now to build that consumer confidence. Saying that you're licensed, obviously you're going to be licensed for maternal beauty. Bonded, that means that legally you do not have a criminal record, so that's really important. And insured. Most people are looking for service providers that are licensed, bonded, and insured. Another thing that you can do is join memberships like the BBB. I know we're accredited by the BBB. That's really, really important, because that is a platform that if any clients have any disagreements with you, they can actually use that platform and negotiate and mediate those questions and concerns they have. So the more that you do to create that professional arena around your business, it's going to create that consumer confidence, and they're actually going to be able to pull the trigger much more easily on loosening their pocket strings and giving you that cash online. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I know that there's probably a few more that you're going to have to click into on your portal, but from our studio to your home or home office,
Or maybe their studio.
yeah, there you go. We are wishing you a very wonderful day.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.